morning, everyone. Welcome to Arizona Drone. My name is Rich Charpentier. Once again, I'm doing another tutorial without Greg. Greg is out teaching flight students today. So in addition to the drone work, Greg also instructs for flight students. So he does that a couple days a week. And on those days, I'm out doing other things. So today we're at one of my favorite locations in the Granite Dells in Prescott, Arizona. And we're going to continue doing some Litchi work. So the other day I did a quick and simple waypoint mission with Litchi. Today we're going to do one more waypoint mission. And if I've got time and battery power, I will also be doing another panoramic mission. And we're going to let the Litchi app actually cobble the panoramic together, and we'll show you that. And we'll talk about using the Litchi app's new beta panorama, or using third-party software after you've offloaded your images like PT GUI. All right, with all that said, I'm going to get off the camera because you're here to see the tutorial, not me. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and I really hope that these tutorials are valuable to you. All right, everybody, so here we are in FPV mode on the Litchi app. And as I mentioned in the on-screen part, I'm going to do a couple of missions today. So right now, the drone is sitting on the ground on its little helipad waiting for me to tell it what's going on. So what's going on today is an orbit mission, a pano, just several things. And I'm just going in here to recheck my settings really fast. So 50 meters, actually I don't even need it to fly that high for return to home here, but I'm going to leave it at 50 meters and 50 meters. And then I'm just going to scroll down here to the bottom because I just want to make sure of a couple of things. So we've got, let's see, all right, focus to infinity, waypointed aircraft, and point of interest at aircraft. So I am all good there, but I did forget one other thing. I want to clear my memory card because I've got stuff from several days ago. So you can clear the memory card right from the Litchi app. And so Litchi has its home location, it's GPS enabled, and I'm going to go ahead and get this sucker off the ground. So I'm flying it a little ways away from me so that we can talk. So there we go, the drone is up. I'm doing the focus to infinity. All right, so the drone's off the ground and I'm in Litchi, and I'm gonna put the drone a little higher just so that it's out of our audio range, so that you're probably still hearing it just a little bit. And right now we're in the FPV mode. But what I'm going to do is we're going to do a waypoint mission here. So we're going to do a fun waypoint mission too. We're going to make this a little more exciting. So the first thing I'm going to do is drop the drone back down just a bit. And I'm going to fly it right above me. So there we go. Okay, the drone is pretty close to being above me. I'm going to bring it down. And it's basically directly above me now. And I am going to add a point of interest here. So first thing I'm going to do is switch out of FPV and go to waypoint. So there we go. I've got the drone basically directly above me. And I'm going to hold in my C2 key extra long. And that is my point of interest. Now I'm going to fly the drone away. Just moving it away from me a little bit. And we're going to set a waypoint. So the drone is now 226 feet away from me, facing me. And I'm actually going to drop its elevation down a little bit, because I'd like this to be kind of a cool looking little flight here. So there we go, we're dropping the drone down toward the rocks I'm going to back it up just a little bit more, still being careful not to hit the rocks. And I'm going to drop a waypoint. So now I've got a new waypoint. There we go. So we see the waypoint right there. And the drone is looking right toward me. And I'm going to move the drone forward and up. And right there, I'm going to place a second waypoint. Okay, the second waypoint has been placed. And now I'm going to move it almost right to me. I'm going to give it a little bit of a turn. And I'm going to place another waypoint. So that's waypoint number 3. And I'm going to have the drone fly right over me. There it goes, so you probably heard it going by. And I'm going to raise the drone up a little bit, so we're going to gain a little elevation. And I'm making one more waypoint now. Now I'm going to move the drone further away again. And I'm going to give it some more elevation. And set another waypoint. Finally, I'm going to move the drone over to my right. And I'm going to drop one more waypoint. So we've got several waypoints that we've created now. And this should be an interesting flight. What we're going to do next is actually land the drone. And I'm going to go through a couple of the setups with the waypoints because I want the drone to do certain things. I want it to behave in a certain way. And we're going to see that in just a few minutes. All right, so the drone is landed, and now that we have started our mission here, I am going to save that mission. And cool, fly, whoops. All right, so I've named it Cool Flyover, and we're going to do a little tinkering with this. So I'm going to shut the drone off for a moment, and we will make another screen recording of how I'm going to fine-tune this particular mission. All right, so let's take a look at our little mission here. So very quickly, we made several points. 1, 2, 3. We've got our point of interest. Then we've got waypoint number 4. Number 5, number 6, and the mission is then over. All right, so I want to look at the overall mission. So I go to the little settings, and we're going to do, we've got heading auto and finish action, return to home. I'm going to go with custom, and we're going to do curved turns, cruising speed of 4.9 miles per hour. Let's bring it down to just 4 miles an hour. My max speed can be 13 miles per hour. And I want to focus on the point of interest. So I want to have the mission focus on the point of interest. So waypoint number 1 settings, heading 28, and point of interest number 1. So I just changed that to point of interest number 1, and it will control the gimbal for me. And we're not doing any actions right now. So now I'm going to go to waypoint number 2, and we're going to take a look. Point of interest. We want point of interest number 1 again. Basically, this is going to do a flyover, and it's going to pay attention to our point of interest. So number 3, we've got the heading, and I want that to look at the point of interest as well, and change nothing else. So interpolate. Oh, I would like it to be focus point of interest. So let's go back and fix that on the other ones as well. Okay, focus poi, focus poi. Number 3 is focus on the point of interest again. Let's do the next one, focus point of interest. And let's make that number 1. There we go. And next one, Let's make sure that it is point of interest and that we focus on the point of interest. And number 6, point of interest number 1, and we're going to focus on that again. So that's looking good now. So the drone will be turning and looking at our point of interest with each one, so it should be an interesting flyover. I'm going to save this again, cool flyover mission, and we're going to go ahead and launch the drone and execute the mission. So we've got the mission saved, the drone is still sitting ready to fly, so let's go ahead and launch that drone again, and then we will play the mission that we created. So let's get that drone launched, and it knows its home point. Oh, and let's make sure that the major mission settings is set to return to home. So there we go. That's looking really good. I'm going to go ahead and launch the drone. And there it goes. I'm just going to put it up. And I'm also going to turn on recording now. So the recording has started, and we're going to go ahead and play that mission. So there we go. It's uploading the mission, and the drone is now under its own power. So I'm walking back up into the rock formations here. So we set the drone to a very slow speed, and I'm going to find it interesting. It's now getting to its point of interest number 1. Let's take a look at what it's seeing. And it is now coming back our way. Here it comes, and it's going to fly right over me. So there we go, nice flyover. And I made one mistake. So if you can't tell what the mistake is that I made, I'm gonna give you a clue. The gimbal should have been pointing down at me, but I had it look too high, and there it goes. It actually made its turn. And so my big mistake was in not setting the point of interest lower. So I'm going to have to redo that afterward and have it look a little lower in order to capture me. So that's easy enough to do, and I'm following the drone back down because it's going to do its return to home, and then we will stop this recording and restart it afterward. Alright, so I made a mistake in my last mission. I didn't check everything over exactly. The waypoints were perfect, but when I flew over the point of interest, the camera angle was still too high up. So I'm now offline, not connected to the drone, but I'm going to go load that mission that we just made, and let's zoom in here. So there is the problem right there. It's pointing the camera too high, 45 feet above my location. So what I want to do is we're going to go ahead and change that, but I couldn't change it. Why? Litchi recently added a lock feature in, so I just unlocked it so that I can edit the mission, and now we're going to have it look right down at the rocks here. I'm going to set that to 6 feet, and that should be cool. So now I'm going to save that. So now the drone should be looking 6 feet above the rock, and that's going to be its focused point of interest. While I'm here, I also did not like the rapid turn that occurred on waypoint number 4. So I'm going to move this waypoint. Let's see if I can click it and move it. I would just like it to do a little bit slower of a curve. So I'm just tapping and dragging. So there we go. That should be much better. So we will try this again. We're going to reconnect to the drone. Before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and save this mission, cool flyover. And we have the opportunity to test this one out one more time. So let's go ahead and do that. And let's go ahead on the left-hand side and play that mission. So there it goes once more. And the drone is now heading over to its first waypoint. And remember, I set it very slow for this waypoint mission. And I did that so that we get something fairly scenic. So I'm going to pull this up on screen real quick so that you can see what the drone sees. And if at any time I'm not happy with this mission or there's trouble, on the left-hand side I can hit the pause button or I could hit the stop button and then either force the drone to return to home or I could take over the drone once more. That's one of the really nice things with Litchi. Alright, so here we go. Here comes the drone performing its mission. And it's coming right toward me. So it should be tilting the gimbal down. And it looks like it is. So there we go. All right. And it's got us on screen. How are you doing, drone? Good to see you. Thanks for doing this waypoint mission for me. And I can see from here that the gimbal is indeed tilted downward and it's making its curving path around us. So it still has us, and quite possibly I could have even set the gimbal even lower. But as you can see, this is very smooth, very cinematic. It's a mission worth showing and displaying, I think. So, and we could do several other types of this as well. But I think you're getting the idea. So now the drone is reaching its mission's end, and it's going to go ahead and execute its return to home one more time.